the $1,073 per month benefit for SSI beneficiaries, where we currently stand, and when we could actually see this potentially happening. All of that plus more in this video, so let's get into it right away. But if you haven't done so yet, or if you happen to be new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button right down below the video so I can keep you updated each and every day with all of this information that is changing very rapidly right now, as Congress is currently working on the stimulus package in which they actually want to raise these SSI benefits as well as a lot of other stimulus provisions. There's a lot going on right now, so if you want to stay tuned with everything going on, make sure to hit that subscribe button right down below the video so I can keep you posted each and every day with all of these changes. So again, thank you so much for joining me. Subscribe down below and let's get into this right away. All right, so I want to take a few minutes and talk about this $1,073 per month benefit for millions of SSI beneficiaries. I've been getting a lot of questions about this recently, and I want to make this dedicated video for you and let you know where we currently stand and when we could potentially see this raise actually coming into play. Now, if you've been watching my videos for any length of time now, you know this is coming from the SSI Restoration Act. Now, this is something that we heard about probably about 6 months ago or so, as we have a small handful of Democratic senators who actually brought this up and started working on this SSI Restoration Act once again. Well, a couple months ago, we got an endorsement out of the president to actually add this into the reconciliation bill, otherwise known as the stimulus package that they are currently working on in the Senate right here, right now. Well, let me bring you up to speed as far as where we currently stand on this and when we could potentially see this thing actually happening. All right, so about 2 weeks ago, we got the House version of the reconciliation bill passed through the House, and then they sent it over to the Senate. Well, here's the thing. In the House bill, the SSI Restoration Act, which actually holds this $1,073 per month benefit, it is actually not included in the House version of the bill. However, is that a reason to start worrying? Not really, and here's why. Because remember, like I said a minute ago, this SSI Restoration Act is actually being worked on by 18 Democratic senators. Well, the stimulus package is in the Senate right now, and we already do know, as I've mentioned so many times in previous videos, we do know that this reconciliation bill, the stimulus package, is going to be picking up a number of different amendments in the Senate, okay? So it could potentially be picked up in the Senate right here, right now, as they continue working their way through this, and they want to get this thing passed within the next few weeks here. So just remember that. It could potentially be added. Now, I just want to make it very clear, I'm not promising that it's going to be added. I honestly have no clue if it's going to be added or not, right? It's pretty much all up in the air at this time right now. But I'm simply saying it's in the Senate, and that is where they are actually talking about it, and that is where they are negotiating out the parameters of this SSI Restoration Act. Now, let's quickly talk through a couple of the parameters of this SSI Restoration Act and what it actually means, because there's actually a few really good things in there. So, number one is the $1,073 per month benefit. Now, where am I getting this number from? This number is actually from one of the provisions that they have in this actual proposal, is to raise SSI benefits up to 100% of the federal poverty line, which just so happens to calculate out to $1,073 each and every month as of right now. The federal poverty line as of right now is $12,880. So to figure out the monthly benefit amount, I just basically took $12,880, divided it by 12 months for the year, and that brings us up to $1,073 each and every month. So that's where I'm coming up with that number, and I've actually seen it actually reported in also reports talking about this. So I've seen some cross references out there, and that's where I'm getting that number from. All right, so that is one of the major provisions, is raising the SSI benefit, the maximum benefit, by the way, up to that $1,073. Now remember, even if that's the maximum benefit, there could be some people out there who receive, less benefits than that. But I'm just saying that's what they want to raise the maximum benefit up to, is at least the federal poverty line, right? So that'd be a nice provision right there. Now, something else that they have in this, and this is a really big one, I've seen a number of comments down below asking and talking about this, that they really need to remove this, which is the marriage penalty. So yes, in this SSI Restoration Act, they want to remove the marriage penalty because, as you know, if you're somebody receiving SSI or you receive monthly benefits like this, your benefits may be garnished if you are somebody who is married, right? Or if you become married, they want to know about that so that they can take away a piece of your benefit. Well, a lot of people are saying that's not fair. I shouldn't have to be penalized if I want to get married. Hey, I totally agree with you, right? Not a good situation. In fact, I just had somebody reach out to me privately earlier today and said, hey, I got my new benefit raise and it happens to be, X dollars. And as a result of me being married, they're going to take it all away. Well, nice, right? That's not encouraging. And I think you know who you are who reached out to me. Thanks for the email. I appreciate it. By the way, I'll send you a response here soon. So anyway, but yes, this is another thing that they have within the SSI Restoration Act is they want to remove the marriage penalty, which would be incredible, right? I've seen so many comments down below saying they really need to get rid of that thing. Now here, where's all this coming from? Let's remember the SSI program, Supplemental Security Income, was actually implemented way back in the early 70s by President Richard Nixon as a way to help out people with disabilities and older adults with limited resources as a way that they had constant income on a monthly basis to help them out so that they weren't living in poverty. Well, unfortunately, this program has not undergone major reform pretty much since the inception of the program in the 70s, about 50 years ago, right? Not quite 50 years, but pretty close to 50 years ago. So basically what these 18 Democratic senators are doing is they're resurrecting the SSI Restoration Act, and they're saying, hey, we've got to reform this program as there are about 8 million beneficiaries drawing on SSI right now, and this program is way out of date. We need to update the program. So that's why they're resurrecting this thing and why they are working on it once again, which is actually a really good thing. Like I said, there's about 8 million beneficiaries of SSI right now. So this would impact about 8 million people. That's pretty good right there, right? So let me quickly talk through a couple other provisions that are in this proposal that are, again, pretty good stuff. So as of right now, if you're receiving SSI, you probably know the asset levels right now. In other words, how much money you can have on hand is very limited, about $2,000, maybe $3,000 in some instances. They don't allow you to have very much money saved away, otherwise they may garnish your benefit. Well, as a result of this SSI Restoration Act, what they want to do is raise those limits for a single person up to $10,000. So you could have 10 grand stacked away and they wouldn't penalize you for it. That'd be pretty nice, especially if we got into a situation like 2020 or even what we're dealing with right now where prices are raising, your income maybe doesn't keep up, and maybe you can have a little bit of money set aside to lean back on just in the event that your income doesn't keep up with expenses. At least you have a little bit of money set aside where you can still pay for, the necessities. So for individuals, $10,000. As a married couple, $20,000. Again, amazing. Wouldn't it be nice to have $20,000 set aside? I bet that'd make people sleep a little better at night these days, right? So that'd be another provision within this SSI Restoration Act. All right, so now that we know kind of the parameters of the SSI Restoration Act, and again, if you've been watching my videos for a while now, you probably know that because we've talked about this a couple times previously. However, where do we currently stand with this? Now, as we know, we got the endorsement out of the president about 2 months ago, I'm going to say. So he endorsed this thing and said, yep, I approve. Let's add it into the reconciliation bill, otherwise known as the stimulus package. However, now the package is in the Senate. So here's what is all up in the air right now. The package is in the Senate, and the Senate is where they're working on this. So it's all up in the air. In other words, it could be added into this package, in other words, into the reconciliation bill, or maybe it won't be added in. Honestly, I can't really lean either side because I honestly don't know if it's going to be in there or not. But what I'm saying is the senators want to add it in, and the president has given his approval saying, yep, go ahead, add it into the package. So over the next couple days here, well, over the next several days, probably the next couple weeks here, we could potentially see this added into the stimulus package. Or it may be omitted, as in not added in. But if it's not added in, does that mean that it's a no deal and that it's not coming? No, it does not mean that at all, because I've actually seen other reports out recently. In fact, I talked about this a couple days ago in a dedicated video. I saw some reports out recently where experts are coming out and they're looking at a couple different provisions right now. They're looking at the SSI Restoration Act, and they're also looking at the Social Security 2100, which was introduced by Representative John Larson about a month and a half ago. Now, they're looking at both of these right now, which encompasses, by the way, about 70 plus million beneficiaries. A lot of people. So they're looking at both of these and they're saying if they are not amended or if they are not added into the reconciliation bill, which by the way, the SSI 2100, or sorry, the Social Security 2100 cannot be done through reconciliation. It needs to be bipartisan. So just a side note there. But the SSI Restoration Act, according to what they're saying, it could potentially be done by reconciliation. Again, that's kind of up in the air. It's kind of a gray area if it can actually be done or not. But anyway, but what these experts are saying is if it is not in the reconciliation bill, it looks like, according to what they are saying and according to what they're talking about, it looks like it could be coming shortly after they get the reconciliation bill done. Whether that happens here in December or whether it happens in early January, again, still all up in the air. We're still watching it. That's why you've got to watch this stuff very closely on a daily basis. But what the experts are saying is basically this could come shortly thereafter the reconciliation bill is done. But the top priority right now in Congress, now that Democrats have full control of everything, the House, the Senate, and the presidency, is they want to get these reconciliation bills done because this is their window to get it done before the midterm elections. Now, I know that's almost a year away from now. I get it. But here's the thing. They've been working on this reconciliation bill for 7 months. So who says they couldn't possibly continue working on this thing for another 11 months? I highly doubt that's going to be the case, but you never know. It's a very, very slow process. But this is their window to do it through reconciliation. But what the experts are saying is that potentially after this reconciliation bill is done, because this is the Democrats' top priority right now, shortly thereafter, they could be visiting the Social Security 2100 in conjunction with the SSI Restoration Act, which would encompass all of those goodies that I just talked about a short time ago that is encompassed within the SSI Restoration Act. If that makes sense, right? So a lot of moving parts here, a lot of different SSI words, Social Security words, a lot of acronyms, a lot of numbers, a lot of deadlines. I get it. There's a lot of confusing information. But hopefully I'm laying it out in such a way that makes this a little bit easier to understand as far as the timeline and where we currently sit with these programs. So I guess it all comes down to what Congress does here over the next, I'm going to call it 3 weeks, okay? Because that's the timeline that Chuck Schumer has laid out for this reconciliation bill to get done. Whatever happens in the next 3 weeks here, whether the SSI Restoration Act is added in or not, if it's not added in and they pass the reconciliation bill, then we could anticipate, according to what the experts are saying, that potentially early in 2022, they could be taking up the Social Security 2100 along with the SSI Restoration Act, which would impact about 70 million beneficiaries across all of the benefits, right? So, as you can see, there's a lot going on right now when it comes to these programs. So for those of you that have been reaching out down in the comments section and the few people reaching out privately, again, I saw a few people on other platforms also reaching out. Chris, shout out to you. You know who you are. But anyway, people have been reaching out privately and in the comments section asking, hey, I get SSI. I'm sick and tired of the $794 a month. The $841 per month in 2022 will be nice and welcomed, but yet I need more. When are we going to get this raise? When is the SSI Restoration Act going to be implemented? And when will we get that permanent raise? Good questions. I wish I had better answers for you, but right now, we don't really have a whole lot. It's all eyes on the Senate, right? Because those are the people who are working on this. So, I've been seeing your comments, I've been seeing your emails, I've been seeing your messages on other platforms, and I wanted to come back to you and give you a quick update. But this is where we currently sit. It's all going to be down to the Senate here in the next 3 weeks or so, right? And if they don't add it in, then we need to reconvene. We need to reconcile everything here and say, okay, here's where we currently sit. They didn't add it in, or they did add it in, whatever it happens to be, and here's where we're going to move forward as far as how we can proceed on this thing, right? So, again, I wish I had better answers for you as far as, yes, definitely it's coming, or no, for sure it's not coming. We don't know that yet, right? But either way, the SSI Restoration Act is still very much alive. The Social Security 2100, again, still very much alive. Representative John Larson just introduced that about a month and a half ago, and it's still out there. In fact, the Social Security 2100 already has a couple hundred co-signers on that thing. It's getting a lot of momentum already, right? So a lot of good stuff out there. But either way, I hope this makes sense to you and lays it out a little bit better as far as where we currently stand, what's going on with these things, and Is it still promising? Is it looking encouraging? Have they forgotten about it? Have they totally forgotten about it and they don't care about us anymore? I get it. It feels that way sometimes when we don't hear anything out of Congress. I totally feel that way. So I know what you mean. But we're doing what we can. We do know that the congressional process, and as they work their way through Congress, it's a very slow process, unfortunately. And all of us just have to wait as far as the actions of Congress. There's not a whole lot we can do when it comes to that, right? We can't really stand there by their side and say, okay, come on, guys, work a little faster, right? It's not like we're the managers of them, even though that'd be sure would be really nice, right? If we could stand right by them and micromanage everything they do. Work faster. Seriously. Think more, type faster, talk faster. What are you guys doing? You know what I mean? So it sure would be nice if we could do that to Congress, but unfortunately, it's not a thing. But anyway, I hope this helps you out to give you a quick update as far as where we stand. It's still encouraging, right? Even though it's not coming as fast as we wish, it still is encouraging as far as everything going on with these. But either way, I'll continue watching everything closely. I will keep you posted with all the latest details, so make sure to subscribe right down below the video. It's totally free to do so, and I'm here for you every single day as your one and only daily advocate. I do a lot of research on all of this every single day. I take all this information, I boil it all down into these short videos, and I deliver them to you a few times each and every day so you can stay posted with everything going on. So again, thanks for joining me. I really do appreciate it. Share this video with your friends, family, and social media so they can stay posted with everything going on as well. And please remember, I'm here to help in any way that I possibly can. Side note, congratulations to the winners on the last video. If you haven't seen that one yet, go back and watch it. It might be worth $100 to you, as I'm going to go back in there and draw some more people because that was super fun, right? So anyway, enjoy your day. Subscribe down below. Share this video with your friends, family, social media, and I'll catch you again later in the next one.